Okay, so Mr. Patrick, can you please elaborate on what you mean by cosign?
I mean, the government with their welfare and with, their other, systems that they implement that encourage women not to have a man in the household.
Okay.
Even like with Section 8, like you can't even get Section 8 if you have a man in the household.
Right.
So they're constantly encouraging women not to have a man in the home.
Okay.
I remember being a young kid, we used to have to hide all my step pop stuff in the garage
Right.
when
Right.
inspection time was
Right.
over.
Right.
They encourage women with that same ideology,
Right.
and we also do the same. With our behavior.
Right.
That's why I do put the onus on us black men,
Right.
in particular,
Right.
to be better,
Right.
to be better men, to be better example, to be better mates for these women.
Right.
We can empower our women, we can be better and give them better options that men to have.
Right.
Then, therefore, we can break this little stigma and the hold that the government also have on
Right.
what they have going on
Right.
and everything like that.
Okay. Okay. What about you, Robert? Do you have any extra thing about the cosigning of the government? Do you have anything?
Well, yes, because it plays a pivotal role. I came up in a time in society in urban America where it took a village to raise a child.
Okay.
And with the exclusion of the male in 1960, when they implemented the government census program,
Right.
that was the deterioration of the black culture,
Right.
the family culture, and so women start to have to be both the mother and the father.
Right.
And when anytime a woman is not allowed to be her natural self, the universe is off.
Right.
The universe is off, and so
This call and your telephone number will be monitored and recorded.
and so growing up, even and now to this day, I look at society as a whole, as collective, and see the things that a lot of women say, women don't need a man no more. Well, if that was the case, the Creator would have just made one species. There wouldn't have been no need for a woman or a male. And life can't go on without a woman. Without her womb and without me inseminate my phallus inside of her, there's no room for life.
But no, and I also feel like that ideology of not wanting a man, don't need a man, is, is a result of the constant, trauma that our women have been through.
Right.
How they have been through it with these men and dogging them out and treating, like you say, even coming from our community, we see very early on them pimping them out, abusing them, and all this other stuff.
Right.
And so, therefore, like I say, that's why I still come back to putting the onus on men to be better men, better examples,
Right.
better mates.
Right.
Because, if you're not in a household, that's our issue.
Right.
A lot of men aren't in the household to be able to be providers.
Right.
Because that's what a man's supposed to be at his basic form,
Right.
protector and provider.
Right.
But because of our behavior, being out here in the streets, running around and everything like that, it seems like they have to depend on the government. They feel like they have to depend on the government
Right.
because they don't have a man in the household that is providing,
Right.
that is going to work, that is bringing in home, money and being able to take care and set a foundation in that home.
Right.
So, a lot of that onus are on us as black men and as fathers to be better men.
Right. Right.
So do you believe that there is a system, an unseen system, out there to keep the black male stagnated? Not.
I think that I think there's a lot of things that can influence you to be a particular kind of way, and it's up to us to gravitate towards it. I don't think it's one blanket system. Even if you take it from there, you go to the court system. You see certain people get good deals, some people get bad deals. So it depends on the people that's there. But then what happens is with the unspoken system is sometimes you can convince yourself of something that don't make sense. Right? Logically, but emotionally feel good to you. Logically, it didn't make sense to me, but you telling me this woman's going to stay in her place, so guess what? I'm looking for a woman on the county in Section 8. Right? Because I'm a gang member and I'm running the street. I'm not going to be here long. I ain't trying to pay rent while I'm here. I don't want to take no responsibility. The government says she can't have me here. I don't want to stay. You telling me I can't stay. So there's no point in me starting to fight with you to go leave because I know when the inspection come, I can't be here. On top of when you feeling some particular kind of way about my code of conduct, then you putting me out and telling me I can't, or you insinuating, or I'm using whatever I'm feeling to be how I want to be. So I think it works in tandem with the people that understand that system that can manipulate it properly. You know what I'm saying? So what you think, though, Mr. Pearson?
No, I definitely feel that way as well. Like, that there's whatever whatever it is, at the end of the day, we have to empower our women
Right.
from the very beginning because the women are the first teachers of the child.
Right.
And all this, a woman needs to know her place and everything like that, or a woman can't raise a man. At the end of the day, I was raised by nothing but women.
Right.
And I don't see nothing but a bunch of women raising a bunch of men because
Right.
the men aren't in the household.
Right.
So I think it's just a false belief within itself.
Right.
Whether you say it, think it, or anything like that, I think it's false within itself because a lot of these women are, picking up the slack for a lot of men that's not even there. So they're actually, amazing and awesome within themselves because they are the ones running the household.
Right.
I've been in a bunch of single women households from the women I've been with throughout my years, throughout my life, and even from my sisters, my mother, and all that.
Right.
And they're resilient
Right.
because despite their father not being there, they still have to pay bills.
Right.
They still have to take care of the kid,
Right.
make sure he's going to school,
Right.
teaching the kids,
Right.
feeding the kids, and then probably feeding you up in here too as well.
Right. Right.
So what is their place really?
Right.
Their place is actually an incredible place.
Right.
I feel like the men is the one who need to know their place and step up to that place and be there.
Right. And stress reliever.
Absolutely. Be that partner for them in order, for y'all to restructure the family and restructure the black household that they try to destroy.
Right.
There is no such thing as a woman needs to know her place.
Right.
The woman birthed all the nation. Black woman birthed the whole nation.
Right.
So her place is actually an incredible place.
Right.
If you really want to get down to the bottom of
Right.
it.
Okay, so let me ask y'all a question real quick with the little few minutes we have left. This is a controversial topic. And a lot of people get different answers.
I know I just started this controversial topic.
Yeah, for sure. Okay, so when you grow up in a household, do you believe it's God, the man or the woman, then the children? Or is it God, your children, and then your significant other?
Well, we're made in the likeness of God, so it kind of coincides cohesive to me, for me personally.
So what would your order be?
It would be the man, the woman, the child, and then God.
Then God? So God would be last. Yeah. Okay, how do you look at it?
I would believe our Creator first.
Okay.
Because, there is no us without our Creator.
Okay.
And, it has to be the mother.
Okay.
The mother is the degree under our Creator.
Okay.
Nothing but a degree under our Creator.
Okay.
Because she is the thing that breathes life into everything. Life comes through her.
Right.
It comes out of us and into her and through her.
Right.
So the woman will be next.
Right.
And then the children, of course, because like I say, the woman is the first teacher of the children.
Right.
She's going to be the thing that shapes that child. She's the first nurse, the first
Right.
doctor, the first teacher.
Right.
The woman is the foundation
Right.
of that home.
Right. Yeah, I second that. I think it'll be God, it'll be the parents or your significant other's house, and then your kids. But I say that with the understanding of that if I go tell my wife to go make something to eat, the first thing she's going to start doing is making a plate for my son.
Absolutely.
If I'm in there cooking, the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to make a plate for my son. Or if I'm cooking and she's making the plate, she's going to come with his plate first.
Right.
And I be like, who plate is that, babe? She's like, oh, that's JJ. You know what I'm saying? And I start putting a little bit of his of what he wanted. And then if I do it, we'll do it the same way.
Right.
Even though we say that our women or our significant other come first,
Right.
we equally know that we got to take care of little dude or little mama. You know what I'm saying? That's what our responsibility is. So understanding that.
And so I wanted to touch on that because you just talking about the cooking and cleaning and all that because, they got this stereotype that women are supposed to be the cookers and the cleaners. So how do you feel about house chores? Go ahead, Robert. You can start that off.
That's even. That's easy because we both coincide this place. We live here. We defecate. We urinate in the same toilets in my households and eat and wash dishes. So I think my personal opinion that goes to both people. That's just my opinion.
Me, I kind of think it depends on the job. Like I wouldn't want my wife taking out the trash. I wouldn't want her out there cleaning the backyard, things of that nature. So if it's something like that, I think I would do it. But my favorite thing to do is to pick up the chores that don't have nothing to do with that, to watch their reaction. When I just say, you just go take out the trash for today, and you go clean the backyard.
Right.
Go pick up the dog dookie and things of that nature, just to see their reaction. Like,
right, no, for sure.
You know what I'm saying?
For sure.
Yeah.
For sure. Me personally, myself, I remember, you know, coming up as a teenager, man, when I used to go to these different women's houses, messing with these women, you know, have a little night with them and all that type of stuff. I used to get up 5 o'clock in the morning. I'll clean up they damn near they whole house.
Right, right.
They'll wake up in the morning amazed, like, what? Like, what is going on? Like, you feel me? Because, you know, everybody think, you know, they good in bed and all that type of shit. But at the same time, when I get up and when you get up and you see that the whole house is clean, you be like, dang, this dude good in bed ain't even cleaned the whole house. Girl, he's winning.
Right.
He winning.
Right, right.
But, you know,
there's a kiss that you get after sex, and
Right.
there's a kiss after they see what you did after sex.
absolutely. right.
Before, during, and after that matters.
Absolutely.
And when she seen you clean that house up,
Right.
and she wake up and see what happened,
Yeah.
there's another kiss. Hold on before you leave.
Yeah, right.
Come here, baby, what you doing?
That's why when you call, you're going to be getting ignored, and she's going to be trying to call Patrick. Where you at? Like,
Right.
you feel me? I get the whole complete package, but definitely in my household, though, you know, I love cleaning. I'm a clean dude. I love smelling good.
This call and your telephone number will be monitored and recorded.
So I'm going to do the bulk of the cleaning anyway because I enjoy cleaning.
And
You
then
know,
even going back to being raised by a single mom.
Absolutely.
She did it all. She taught us all.
Absolutely.
Get up and wash your clothes, because she would tell us, even at that point, if you think about how moms was raising us, right, telling you to stay in your place. My mama grew up under the pimping, dealing with the whole
right.
So
Absolutely.
she would say, leave them where you meet them and F them where you find them.
Right.
That was her culture. Don't bring them to my house. So I'm watching the men coming in at the house treating mom wrong, and before I can completely indulge into what a woman was, my mom was always telling me to watch out for them.
Right.
So that adds to a double stress that I had to deal with completely. Or they might put me out and make me feel a particular way. So I learned how to wash clothes and cook my own food at an early age.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? So I did that. So that kind of was my protective
And
shield in a sense to not treat me any kind of way.
And even on that sense, you know, I grew up in a single parent household.
Right.
Even with my stepfather, he was in and out of prison a lot.
Right.
So out of necessity, I had to do chores.
Right.
I was the one that had to clean the house.
Right.
You feel me? Make sure the dishes is clean.
Right.
I was the one that had to do the laundry and all that. So like you say, I learned how to do these things very early on. Iron, cook, clean, do laundry and all these things. I had to look after my little sister. I used to be up in there doing hair, trying to braid hair. My sister they got in plenty of fights at school. Like, look what's up with that ponytail, bopping on your head and all that, you know. But bro, I had to step up because there was nobody else in there to step up. Mom's gone from 7 to 10 o'clock at night, you know, working Monday through Friday and sometimes even Saturday trying to provide for us.
Right.
So I had to step up and learn these chores.
Right.
And that was something that has, you know, stuck with me and has been, you know, very useful throughout my life because she taught me how to be independent and responsible at a young age.
And that's what I always say, too. I'm glad that I accepted the role as a child. I accepted being a son and a brother. Because now when I started gangbanging, I didn't realize what I had to do. I knew what role I had to go back into. I went back into being a father. I went back into being a husband, and I understood what that. So I became passionate about being there. So since I became passionate about being there, the pleasures I had, maybe about a woman that looked a particular kind of way, I slapped myself on the hand. That ain't cool.
Right.
I can't do that because I don't want my son to see me out here doing this to his mother, because now what if he starts dealing with somebody else's daughter that I know?
Absolutely.
And then they looking at me like, this how you raise your son?
Right.
So I never wanted to be the reason why he decided to do that. What you think,
I was going to say, you know, beauty is a state of mind.
Right.
You know, and growing up where we come from.
Why you licking your lips while you saying that?
He was feeling that one.
You know, we come up in a society where people glorify beauty. You know, what is beauty? You know, and to me, it's a state of mind. You know, whether it's physical.
You have 60 seconds remaining.
So yeah. With that being said, you know, my name is Robert. Nice talking to you on If These Tables Could Talk, and peace and blessings.
On the real, this Terry.